Okay, let's take a look. Where were we? Okay, so according to the PDF file, we're in the page 97. Okay, so let's take a look 97. So in 97, we see which section we are, or the early school and their doctrine. So meaning to say that early school and the doctrine, meaning to say that this is in the page 92. Let's see. So we are still in the history of Buddhism. It's supposed to be in the Indian, you see. He say, within the monastic fraternity originated from the Stavira of the first three systematic school of the thought developed. Okay, that will be the Buddhalavata, Savastivada, and also the Vipachavita. Basically, we are most familiar is the Vipachavata, which is the present Theravada. And Savastivada, a lot of text is available in the Mahayana Tripitaka, in the Mahayana Canonica. Whereas the Buddhalavata is very strange for us. It's about the Buddhala. Okay, immediately we go to the last one. Let's take a look. Okay, so in the previous sessions, what we talk about is the idea it's the gateway to the liberation, Vimokkha Mukha. So this is a Vimokkha Mukha class. If you still remember, actually this is in the middle of the Pakota. So remember in the previous lesson, we talked about this. In the median, for the Pagoda, let's take a look. The top of the Pagoda signifies the Nibbana. Then there will be the gate is here. The gate is in this Sankhara Upeka Jnana, which is number 11. So there will be 3 gates. You can opt one of them to enter to the Nibbana. It depends on your capacity, your capacity, because you can go in through anicca or dukkha or anatta. It depends which one you go through inside. Then next, let's take a look. Then we go to the next paragraph. The notion of sabhava, it means what is unexistent. We talk about the sabhava. Why? Because this is significant and it makes the Mahayana critics of Savastivada notion of sabhava largely irrelevant to the Theravada. So here is about the school. About a perception problem. Why? Because the class, according to the Savastivada, as we know, they say the whole world formed from the most small particular part. We call it as scientifically, we call it as an atom. But they call it as the ultimate truth. But this ultimate truth basically is real for them, Once you analyze the particle, smallest particle, mentality and materiality to the smallest part, and this is the real one. But for the emptiness school, they say no, this is not the real one. It's still conceptualized particle. But for them, they say it's a real. This is according to the Vipachavata. Now we proceed to the next. But here he claimed that actually it is wrong, Actually, according to this, he claims it is wrong, you see. You see, according to the Vipachavata, they say it is not something inherent in the Dharma as a separate ultimate reality, but arises due to the supporting condition. So I think there might be some misunderstood. But as I teach Abhidhamma for so long, basically, Abhidhamma Sangha, they try to convey a view to us that the smallest particle is not conceptual. It's not conceptual. It is real, you see. So I think either we misunderstood or the author himself misunderstood. Next paragraph. Elena, your turn, please. The Vipachavadin argue, please.
The Vipachavadin argue against the view held by the Sarasvativadins and the Pugalavadins that some arahats could regress from their state after temporarily attaining it. For the Vipachavadins, such a person was not yet a true arahat. They also argue against related points which became known as the 5 points of Mahadeva, Cousins 1991, the earliest reference to which is in their Katawatu. This is the first point. The first point is that even though all arahats are free of sensual desire, a Mara god can cause the bodies of some male arahats to emit semen when asleep. Those with full mastery of meditative accomplishment are immune from this. The second point is that as an arahat may be ignorant of matters such as a person's name, he may lack a certain kind of nana or insight in their original form, in which the present fifth point was probably replaced by the idea that some arahats could regress. The 5 points were probably Abhidhamma debating points used to sharpen up people's understanding of certain issues and distinction. They may well originally have been propounded by Sarasvativada school. The monastic traditions of all surviving forms of Buddhism go back to fraternities descended from the Straviras of the first schism, which means that much less is known of the Mahasangika ones. The doctrines ascribed to them by others are described in relatively late texts of the early centuries CE. This broadly differentiated a northern and southern branch, the Ikayawaharika and the Kaitiya fraternities, which perhaps divided in the 2nd century BCE. Whoever originated the 5 points of Mahadeva, they become associated with the Mahasangikas, or more specifically with the Katiya branch. This may have been originated by the monk Mahadeva, who seems to have propounded a new formulation of the points. Some scholars have held that Mahadeva's point imply a downgrading of an arahat relative to a perfect Buddha. This seems to be incorrect, however. Only a slight downgrading is implied, and this applies to one kind of arahat relative to another. The first kind has only a limited attainment of the meditative state of jhana and lacks the higher knowledges which can be developed using this as a basis. The second has these higher knowledges and can use them so as to be skilled in the states of others. He knows the inner states and needs of others and can use this knowledge in compassionately helping them. Mahadeva's points are thus associated with an increased emphasis on altruism action as becomes central to the Mahayana.
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Elena, this would be produced as nyana, nyana, nya, baba nyonya, is this words. Okay, class. Yeah, finish. Okay, class, just remember these few words. Mahasamgika, Mahayana. Sometimes people ask, what is the origin of the Mahayana? Basically, we can't tell. But we know that there has a close relationship between Mahayana and Mahasamgika. Let's take a look. How is the diagram? Let's take a look. So this is the diagram we are able to see. We used to check this diagram. Let's see. Okay, class, take a look. Now, this is the Mahasamgika, see or not? After Buddha Parinibbana, about 200 years, there will be totally 20 of the sectarian. You can see 20. So this is Mahasamgika we mentioned just now. They have a strong relationship relates to the Mahayana. And then here, let's take a look. Jatiya Sila, just now we got one word appeared, Jatiya Sila. Class, take a look. Here is this. Jatiya, see that? Jatiya branch. Okay, so this one is associated with Mahasamgika, specific with the Jatiya branch. Okay, so this is the Jatiya branch. You see, Jatiya branch relates to the Mahasamgika. And then today, there's one more school is quite related to us. Whereas you see, just now we mentioned Savastivada is under the Stavira. We call it as the Theravada. Then here, Taurya Timsa, let's see first. We don't see the Taurya Timsa here. Taurya Timsa means, the Theravada nowadays. Actually, it's somewhere here. It's supposed to be somewhere here. But it doesn't, we don't see in this diagram. It is somewhere here. It's under this. They're very close. Okay, today actually, what do we talk about? It's an issue we had regards to the Mahadeva, and it is closer to the development of the Mahayana. Why? They argue 5 points. So this 5 point is this is where we see the difference between the Arahant and the Buddha. What do they argue? What did they argue is relates to? Number one, if you're Arahant, you should free of the lust. Okay, but they say no. You see, some they say no, some they still could be got some essential problem. You see, but they say no. If Arahant is supposed to be no, you see, this is the major point. The first point they talk about this. Then second point you see or not? Is Arahant they could regress. You see, okay, meaning to say that you become Arahant, you could regress. Meaning to say Arahant is not ultimate. It could regress. But some school they claim that yes, but some they say no. Arahant they're not supposed to be regress, you see. Savastivada, since they support that if you become a Sotapan will regress, some will commit suicide once they attain Sotapan in order to avoid regression. See or not? It's ridiculous happen. I mean, this argument point, it happened in the Savastivada, you know. It's in the Savastivada. So this is the point. They totally got 5. This is what they mentioned is the Katavatu, one of the texts, Pali canonical texts. They mentioned about this. See or not? Then they say Arahant may be ignorant and lack of samjnana. For example, even though you attain Arahantship, but I ask you to operate, to ask the question, the chat GDP, to send the WhatsApp. You think can he do or not? Cannot, right? Even though you're Arahant, your knowledge is more for liberation, but you don't know how to do the WhatsApp or how to. Even how to use the chat GDP is normal one. So we say, even though you're Arahant Buddha, you might be ignorant in mundane knowledge. But of course, you are very expert in the supra-mundane knowledge. So this is another arguing point. Some they think if you become Arahant, you will know everything. Some they claim the point there. Then you see in the monastic tradition, they say, here we talk about the Mahasamgika. So in Mahasamgika, they say there's the broadly differentiated northern and the southern branch. Eka vaya harika. Eka mean one. There's only one way of speaking only. This is Ikava Vaharika. Let's take a look. This is the Ikava. Now, just briefly know will be good enough already. Ikava. Here you see it's not Ikava Vaharika. So this is from Mahasangika also. Another is a Jatiya Saila. Class, this Jatiya Saila, if I show you what is a Jatiya, you might be surprised a little bit. Let's see. Now this is the Jatiya, right? Let's see. This is the Jatiya. Jatiya. Okay. Jatiya. See or not? Jatiya has something to do with what? Pagoda shrine. This is a very famous. I went this place before. This is the so-called pagoda, which we have strong relationship with the Sariputta and Mongalana. See, Jatiya meaning to say this is something like a stupa. You see, so meaning to say this school actually they are praising for the stupa, Jatiya branch. So meaning to say that some claim that Mahayana actually originated from the school who paid high respect to the pagoda, and they claim that they are a group of people. They are either monk nor layman. So where is it? So meaning to say that they are transgender. They are not either monk nor layman. What meaning to say that they are not a monk? Meaning to say they still can have a layman lifestyle. You see, but they are still not a layman. Meaning to say maybe they don't really work, but they meditate. I think it's just some sort like some people they work in the monastery. See, not or some clergy work in the monastery. Some laymen they stay in the temple. Something like that, right? They are not they're not 100% laymen. They're not either 100% men or 100% monk. You see, so they are the middle. So this group of people they claim that they are the origin. They are the one who initiate the Mahayana. Logic or not? I don't know. But I think Malaysia got a lot of this type of people. So I think maybe Nalanda, the brother Tan Ho Sun, he is either monk or layman, something like that, right? So this group of people just like a pasture system in the Christian. Pasture is the one who they are all considered, a religion's clergy, right? But they work, you see. But they work. But they just 100% contribute to the church only. But they got the income and they can have a wife, see or not? In the middle. So they are the one who initiated the Mahayana. We call it as a Jatiya branch, you see. You see, a Mahadeva point imply a downgrading of an Arahant relative to the perfect Buddha, you see. So they say this is the point, you try to downgrade of Arahant relative to the perfect Buddha. So this is why in Mahayana Sutra, you used to see that Buddha is very, very grand. And the Arahant is the distance between the Arahant and the Buddha is the gap is very strong. See or not? So this is where it begins. Until nowadays, if you go to check the Nikaya, usually the Buddha and Arahant, the difference not much one. But the Mahadeva, this 5 point is the crucial point and the begin for the Mahayana and the Theravada. So they say this Mahadeva point is very strong relationship with the Mahasangika and the Mahayana. So take a look. This is how they argue. Then next, let's take a look. You see how. They say Mahadeva point are thus associated with the increased emphasis, you see, on altruistic action as becomes central to the Mahayana. So this is what we know about. Okay, now we go further somewhat because now we talk about school of thought, the sectarian. So we have to really go through the argument point, and from here, from the split, we know the origin. We know how does the Mahayana and Theravada differences come from. Mr. Leung, your turn. As regards please, Mr. Leong.
Mahasangika of their Chinese translation in a language approximating to Sanskrit. There survives a text known as the Mahavastu, which purports to be a Vinaya work. It describes itself as a work of the Lokottaravada or Transcendentalist school, which is probably the same as the Ikayawaharika or one utterance. The latter held that all the utterances of the Buddha were concerned with what was transcendent. The Mahavastu grew over a number of centuries, perhaps beginning in the late 2nd century BCE. Before, its outlook has often been seen as foreshadowing certain Mahayana ideas. It has itself been shown to incorporate whole passages from early Mahayana scriptures and may have been influenced by Mahayana concepts up to as late as the 5th century CE. It sees Gautama as transcendental even before his Buddhahood. He leaves the Tusita heaven in a mind-created body to bestow his blessings on the world. And though highly spiritual developed, he pretends to start from the beginning, making mistakes such as asceticism. As a Buddha, he is an omniscient being who is ever in meditation. No dust sticks to his feet, and he is never tired. He is out of mere conformity with the world, and so as to give others a chance to do karmically fruitful actions by giving him alms food. For such a world transcending being, it was felt that all incidents in his life must have occurred for a special reason. The Mahavastu thus gives much attention to the Buddha's biography, and also includes many Jataka's tales in examining the development to Buddhahood. A series of 10 stages of the Bodhisattva career were outlined. This idea was also important in the Mahayana, though the details are different. Unlike the Mahayana, the Transcendentalists still saw the goal for most people as arahantship, the way of the Bodhisattva being for extraordinary individuals.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.